Education is a priority area for Pacific Island countries, particularly when it comes to improving student learning outcomes. Over the past 15 years, work has been done to improve access to education across the Pacific region. But we know that access isn't everything. In the Pacific region, most countries have achieved universal primary education. Across the region, in most countries, 8 out of every 10 students transition from primary to secondary school. Once in secondary school, enrollment levels drop off drastically in some cases. In some countries, students are socially promoted through primary school, regardless of whether or not learning outcomes have been achieved. What does social promotion and repetition mean when students reach secondary school? What are the barriers preventing students from reaching their full potential? There are some differences across the region in terms of access to secondary education as well as coverage of secondary education. Students are leaving school without completion at the end of primary, in lower secondary, and upper secondary across the region. How does student well-being affect student performance? What do students need to be supported to achieve the desired learning outcomes? Data also shows that participation in early childhood education programs significantly improves student success in primary school. Across 10 countries, PILNA 2015 results showed a strong correlation between attendances at ECE programs and increased learning outcomes. In the early years, both boys and girls have equal enrollment at school, but over time, girls tend to stay in school longer. PILNA 2015 shows that overall, Year 6 boys are only performing at the level of Year 4 girls in writing. Why might this be the case? How does student well-being affect student performance? Teachers are a critical part of education systems across the Pacific region. Over the last 10 years, the proportion of teachers who are qualified and are certified has increased. However, student learning outcomes have not improved at the same rate. What skills and knowledge do teachers in Pacific schools need to meet the needs of students? How do we know whether teachers have the needed competencies? School completion varies across the Pacific region. And for those students who are not able to complete secondary school, the pathways into adult life are limited. What access do early school leavers have to skills training? What pathways are available after secondary school completion? With continuing efforts to improve information management and track education indicators, countries can begin to answer questions like these to ensure that every child has the potential to grow now and into the future.